Hello, everybody. Today we have the absolute pleasure of talking to Tati Botta. She's a revenue growth partner and sales trainer in the automotive industry, and I can't wait to ask her all the questions. Tati, it's so good to have you here. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for inviting me. I was super excited to join you today, so I think we are going to have a lot of fun.
Me too. So why don't you share a little bit about yourself? What is it that you do right now? Who do you help right now?
This is a very good question. I am helping mainly the automotive industry sales leaders to increase their pipelines and sell better and sell more. So I currently support many suppliers, but also GM and Stellantis with their business to business and business to consumer sales teams.
Amazing. So how did you become the sales expert that you are?
Well, this is a very good question. I cannot remember when I was not in sales. So I have been doing sales since I was 18. I am 52 at this point. I think in the for the gals out there, I can share my age. So I joined sales when I was at that age, and I've never left, to be honest with you. So it was just a progression from knocking doors to being a leader to being in human resources for sales and now running my business in training for sales teams.
And I know that you've been in the automotive industry for a while. Can you tell us a little bit more of that about that experience?
Yeah, I have been in the automotive industry for 10 years now. As you can see from my accent, my beautiful accent, I wasn't born here in the US. So 10 years ago, we moved to Michigan, that we all know that is the automotive state, the motor state in the US. And we moved because my husband works for GM. And then it was when I started to get really in touch with the automotive industry, not only being a family member, but actually working for companies that were in this environment, in this industry.
What did you do before you started with Sandler? And I can't wait to talk about like your company and what you guys do. What what was happening leading up to it?
I was at GM. So way before when I came here to the US, I started doing training as a 1099, as a third party facilitator for the automotive industry. Because back in Brazil, I had my training company already. But because I moved, we know how it is, right? You follow and then you start over. Then I was doing training. And then after a couple of years, I decided to join the corporate America again to understand things from inside and become a better trainer, a better coach. So I joined Cummins at that time. It was Meritor. They do the heavy industry brakes and axles for the automotive. And then I was in HR there doing training for the teams. And then after that, I joined GM. So GM, I stayed there for 5 years, almost 5 years, literally being the human resources for the sales teams. So I was supporting them, coaching them, training them full time. Like this was what I was doing before leaving and coming back to be an entrepreneur.
I'm here thinking of dealership owners who are watching this right now.
Mhm.
How do they know that they need sales training in their shops?
First of all, they need to assess what's going on currently and what are the goals that they have. And by the way, I help with that. Then, second of all, they need to look to their teams and see if they have the proper team. Sometimes I know firsthand that dealers they have a big turnover, and it can be for many different reasons. But the I would say the general manager, the principal, they should look and assess their teams to see if people are placed in the right place, hire properly, and then from there have a constant, I would say, a recurrent training to support these people not to bounce back, like going bad and going great, and then depending on just guessing when they are selling. So for them is to really have a second arm, I would say, to support in coaching the team consistently so they can have consistent results as well.
So, how does having a sales process work when there's so many things shifting in automotive all the time, right? There's months that are amazing, there's months that it's just like we don't know what is happening, why people are not even coming in. So, how does a sales process help them with the consistency of sales?
Mm-hmm. Very good question. And first of all, we cannot predict what the marketing is giving us, what the market is giving us, but we can predict what we are doing inside, right? If we depend only on people coming into the stores, we may have what you just said, right? Sometimes we have more, sometimes we have less. We need to first understand the way the buyers are buying currently. And we all know that at least 50% of the work that a prospect is doing is online. So for the dealers, the client, the future customer is going to research online, and then it's when they come to the store. This is when the sales professionals, they need to be very well prepared because they need to make sure they are asking the proper questions and serving that customer in a way that they are going to pick that dealer to buy from. And you are the specialist in marketing, right? You know exactly what the dealerships need to do in their websites, their social media to make sure people get interested. And my job is to make sure that when they get into the store, they stay. And you ask about the process, right? There's a set of techniques that I teach people that are going to help them to attract, build trust, and really have that person buying from them. It's not like sales is not a numbers game. It's not throwing spaghetti on the wall and see what fits. It's about people, right? We sell to people and people buy from people. This is what I teach. So this way they have a set of techniques that they use to keep the clients that you bring to the store.
I love that. So, if there is a dealership owner listening right now, what is your big message for them?
The big one is do not continue delaying training your people. Because, first of all, training retains people because they see that the dealer owner is investing in them. Second of all, sometimes people are not doing so great, not because they are not talented, but because they don't have the proper tool. At Sandler, we use what we call the success triangle. First, we look to the mindset, why people are not doing what they have to do in order to achieve the goals. And it's not good or bad mood. It's about what are their beliefs that are impeding them to prospect somebody, for example. What are impeding them to pick up the phone and call a customer? Then we work on techniques, that is how to do something. Let's say your salesperson have the proper mindset. They know they have to call, but they don't know what to say. So then I give them how to do the call, how to get the attention. And then the third facet is the behavior. Maybe you have the proper mindset, you are willing to call, then you know how to, but for some reason you don't do it. You get your schedule all messed up, you are not good in time management. So everything that is in there, it's not working because you don't have the third part of the triangle. So my message for the dealerships is do not delay because maybe you have the right people, but they are not being, I would say, fed with the proper tools to achieve the goals that you all have.
Yeah, I love how you put it that way because sometimes that can be the first knee-jerk reaction is maybe I just don't have the right people in here. Maybe I just need to hire differently. So why don't we switch gears to talk a little bit about the salespeople themselves? So in some of your trainings, you talk about having a deliberate practice over just learning techniques. So how can a car salesperson build a deliberate practice into their daily routine? Before we hear the answer to that really juicy question from our guest, I wanted to tell you how I found her, how she ended up on this video in this interview. I found her on TikTok because she had a strong presence, because she was using the right hashtags, because she knew what she was doing. And that is how your customers find you. That is how you establish your authority in the marketplace. That is how car salespeople make their mark and take control of their careers, by being online. And you need to be on TikTok if you're not already. My name is Ina. I'm the AutoSocial Gal, and I'm a social media strategist for car salespeople, for car dealerships. And I have helped hundreds of people with their online presence over the past decade. And now, for the first time ever, I have created a Mastering TikTok for Car Sales course that you can have right now and learn everything I know about how to show up on TikTok, attract your right customers, and also make the experience be right for you. It doesn't have to be silly dances. It doesn't have to be complicated scripts or skits. It can be whatever you want it to be. And in this course, I really put everything that I know so that you can have the kind of presence that is gonna make you go from unknown to unforgettable, so that people want to drive 2 hours out of their way to come and buy cars from you. I have you with the list of equipment that you need, with all of the TikTok features. I am going to show you exactly around the app. I'm going to show you how to simplify the analytics process. You don't have to know everything right off the bat to be successful. I'm going to show you how to stand out with your unique personality. I'm going to show you the viral examples so that they inspire you and you know exactly what to post, and so much more. And all of this can be yours right now. And I want to give you a very special $15 off code. The price of the course is going to keep changing. I just put this out there and the price is going to continue to increase. So don't rest thinking that the price is going to stay the same, and grab this code right here for your $15 off, no matter what the price of the course is. Just code this QR code, take a picture of this QR code, or go to autosocialgal.com/TT for TikTok, get it? And use the code YTGals, that stands for YouTube Gals, so that I know you came from this video and you're coming from here. It's all in that QR code. If you go to autosocialgal.com/TT, it already has the code baked into it, and you can go and grab it right now, because I want to see you on TikTok so that I can go and invite you to be on this YouTube channel, elevate your authority, and inspire others. All right, now let's go back to the interview.
This is a very good point, because we train long term, right? We don't do this 4 hours, 8 hours, quick hit workshops, not because they don't work whatsoever, but because to change a habit, it takes time. And we always use the gym as an example, or even changing a diet habit. You are not going to change everything going to the gym once. The way we work with the dealers and the automotive people is, we sit with them every week, and then people usually tell me, Tati, we don't have time to go to training every week. Well, it's a slow down to a speed up. If you don't have an hour and a half every 5 days to sit and develop yourself, probably you are going to be in this, roller coaster forever. So we stop the team at the time and the day that it's better for the dealer, maybe a day that is less busy. Then we sit there, we discuss what I just said, mindset, techniques, and how to apply. They apply throughout the week. And then the next week, when we meet together, we do the accountability check. And we continue doing this. Usually clients that work with me, they are with me for a year, a minimum, because it takes time. You need to change your mindset. You need to challenge your own way to do things, because we are professionals, right? Some dealers, they have people who are doing the same things for 20 years, 15, 5 years. You need to take time, and I never disregard anybody's experience. We add to what I have to contribute to them, and then we go from there. This is the way we see like the change moving the needle.
I am so glad that you mentioned mindset. Because nothing works, no technique is ever going to work without actually having the attitude and the fortitude in their mind to actually go and pull through and do those things. So what is one mindset shift that a salesperson should be making today to improve the results?
So many, but if I could pick one, I would say we need to have the same business stature as everybody else. And there's a mindset with salespeople that they are serving, that they are less. They have to fulfill everything and anything that the customer needs. This is not true. You need to be empowered, and with techniques, it's not only to look to the mirror and say, I am powerful. No, with techniques and practice, to have a very good conversation with your customer where I am your advisor. I know my craft, and you are my customer. So we are having this open conversation to see what fits in your life for you. What is the product that you have to buy? Not me chasing people or having people ghosting me or bothering people. It's something that we need to challenge all the time.
Yeah, that I feel like that's one of the hardest things that car salespeople deal with every day is rejection. And they have to
Mm-hmm.
build that, like a muscle and be there to help. So I'd be very curious to know what is your big message for them? If there is a car salesperson listening right now who's like, I feel like I could use some sales training. I feel like I could use some of that mindset training because I was not making my numbers this month the way that I wanted to. What would be your big message for them?
I would say I'm very biased on talking about developing ourselves, right? But um, in addition to learning new techniques or improving or adding more tools to your toolbox, that we all can do it, having this long-term training, it's the time that you stop to develop yourself. So instead of answering the question, I will ask a question to you that are listening right now. What are you doing to sharpen your skills? Do you have time to do it? And if you look around to your week, how long how many time do you use to develop yourself? And not developing yourself, how much this is costing you? Because one thing that I want to mention is sales has this reputation that is a profession that has no past, meaning that I can do great and sell 100 cars this month. I am cheered up. Everybody loves me. Next month, when I don't do so well, it's all forgotten, right? If you have consistency, you are going to help yourself when there's ups and downs because all of us we have ups and downs. But what is not good is to have this super huge up and climbing down and not even understanding why. When
Mhm.
we stop, we are looking back and say, what did I do to be so great last month? Or what did I do that it was not so great? If you don't analyze, you cannot go and do it again and do better. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I feel like the greatest salespeople kind of got that down. They will tell you, I knew what were the things that were working and what are the things that are not, and they follow that path. So I love that advice. Um, I am very curious. We're about to wrap up, but I cannot let you go without hearing a sales expert's perspective on whether social media is or not important in the automotive and in car sales. What is your perspective on social media as a sales expert?
It's everything nowadays. I say that it's our new TV advertisement, right? Personally, I am heavy on LinkedIn, and I got pretty big businesses because of it, because people were recognizing me as a brand and somebody that they can trust. So let me put this way. Social media, in my perspective, and you are the professional here, right? Is that planting seeds over time to create a reputation for yourself. It doesn't matter in which profession you are, but I'm talking about the automotive team, automotive people. You gotta be somebody that people trust. And it's your face on social media, the way you put yourself out there, the people that you partner with to take care of it that are going to change this. Maybe somebody that is seeing your post today is not your client at this moment, but they know somebody that is going to ask them for a referral. Or you are going to pop up for them so many times. They are going to be educated by you. They are going to be learning what you do and how can you help them. Then when they need, they have the name. It's like when I think about sales training, well, there's that Tati Botta. I have been hearing about her, and she has been educating me for a long time on social media. So this is my opinion. It's absolutely needed for everybody.
I love that. I love it for everybody to hear that. 100% needed. So, as
Yes.
we're winding down, is there anything else that you would like to share with dealership, leadership, team members, or with car salespeople that we haven't touched on yet?
I think we had a pretty good conversation for the time that we have, right? Because I feel that I could be here with you like for 3 hours talking. What I would say to them is let's have a conversation about what is possible, right? I'm not saying that everybody should start training right now, but in one point they should, because again, it's a way to retain your people. It's a way to protect the money that you already invested in them, right? Because you spend money to hire people, to train them, and then you have a bunch of stuff happening that you put money on them. It's a way to protect this money. Also, your reputation. If your team knows what they are doing with your customers, your dealership is going to be recognized as a place that people can go and trust. Again, we have a lot of different brands out there, a bunch of dealerships. People buy from people they trust. You need to train your people to have the customers trusting them. And I just said the word training, right?
Tachi, this has been amazing. This is so much gold. Thank you so much for doing this. Can you please tell everybody where to find you, how to contact you for services, and where to follow you?
Thank you for the opportunity. So, a sales platform, right? They can find me on LinkedIn primarily, Tatiana Botta, Botta. Also, I don't know if you can put my email, my contact information in here. If you are with this beautiful AutoSocialGal, you are going to find my information. But LinkedIn, as I said, because it's social media, is the place that you can find me very easily. You can see what I'm doing. You can see the way I position myself. And maybe we can have a call, right? I can have a discovery call with people that are watching you.
Sounds great. And we're going to put all those links and your email address right below for everybody. Tachi, thank you so much for doing this. You've been great.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.